Welcome, everyone, or I should say, welcome, Petty Patty. It's good to see you as always. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here. Uh, I am really annoyed because this continues to happen. Um, what's up, JC? How we doing, Safari Dream? Uh, Blue Moon. I uh, I don't expect a big audience for this one because I'm not going to be reviewing any other channels. I am not going to be making jokes about other channels. I'm not going to be reviewing a court case at the moment. I'm not going to be reviewing a crime case. Well, it's sort of a crime. It's a little bit of a crime. What's up, Platform Boots? B Fergs, hello. Um, I'm Yeah, I am really irritated at the fact that this is something that just continues to happen. It continues to happen uh, to other creators, and I'm speaking for all creators when it comes to this. And I know I'm just a small channel. I'm not Rakeda Law. I'm not Emily Baker. But funny thing about them though is because they're large channels, uh, they were able to fight this thing very quickly. Somebody told me that when this happened to Emily Baker while she was streaming the Johnny Depp trial with Amber Heard, and she got a copyright strike by Law and Crime, who I believe I believe Rakeda Law likes to refer to them as lawn cucks or something to that effect, and rightfully so because they're shit. Honestly, they're greedy pieces of shit, and I have no respect for them at all whatsoever. I don't even have any interest in streaming their content when I can use someone else's content and go over it and add commentary to it and all of these other things. What's up, Tim Tarman? Mr. Gumby, Marley J. It's good to see you. So for those of you just joining, I was streaming. I've been streaming all this week and all last week. The Parkland shooter trial, the trial of Nicholas Cruz, and it's a trial of his sentencing. He's already pled guilty. His guilt has been established, and it's now a question of whether or not he spends the rest of his life in prison or if he gets the death penalty. And whether or not he gets the death penalty, I mean, I have no opinion on that one way or the other. As I've always been vocal about, my opinion is whatever the families feel is justice, I hope that they get that justice. And I hope that they get some peace. Now, a lot of the stuff that we're hearing in this trial is very, hello, Yvette R. A lot of what we're hearing in this trial is very disturbing. It's very triggering, as much as I'm not a big fan of that word. It's quite overused, and it's used by the type of people that I'm not a big fan of, to be totally honest. But we're not here. We're not here to discuss whether or not Nicholas Cruz should get the death penalty. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is censorship. My channel was struck yesterday for streaming this trial and using a credible news source. I won't take that away from them. And a news source that I gave credit to. Maybe I didn't share their link in the chat and say, oh, subscribe to WPLG channel 10, South Florida, even though I'm from there and I'm very familiar with the channel. Or, you know, but I was struck by them, not even Law and Crime. I was struck by a local news conglomerate. And it's really, you know, it's really annoying when that happens. You know, I don't like having marks on my shit. You know what I mean? I'm just not a fan of that. And it really, really made me mad. And so of course I countered it. And this was the response I got from YouTube. Okay. Platform boots. We're going to get all into that. I promise. Tatted Jedi, kiss my ass. It's good to see you. So, dear the Glarer, thank you for your counter notification. This was what this was the response that I got from YouTube. Thank you for your counter notification. Unfortunately, it is unclear to us whether you have a valid reason for filing a counter notification. Now, arguably, it could be said, as to it could be said, you know, did I not, you know, elaborate? Was I not clear when I wrote my reasons for the counter notification or the counter? The counter notification. But I'm quite certain that I was, as I've been struck before. But I was struck by a not so large channel. I was struck by Critical Cankles, and I countered it, and I won. It was very simple. I was doing the same thing with her channel as I did with Law and Crime's channel when they struck me, and my counter notification was rejected by them too. So, excuse me. But for some reason, when it was with a smaller channel, they approved it. But when it comes to larger channels, for some reason, it's unclear whether I have a valid reason for a counter notification. And it says, so we won't be able to honor your request. Counter notifications are only used when content has been removed as a result of mistake or misidentification, which may include exceptions like fair use. Okay, and fair use is highlighted here, so you can click on it and get a definition, basically, as to what fair use is and what they consider fair use under YouTube terms of service. Keep in mind that using the process may result in the claimant filing a lawsuit against you for copyright infringement. Fine. So you should evaluate your legal position before filing a counter notification. What can I do now? Ask the copyright owner for a retraction or simply wait for your strike to expire. Interesting. We'll get to that too. If you are sure that your video has been misidentified as infringing and are willing to possibly defend your claim in court, you can resubmit your counter notification, which I just did. Be sure to explain in detail how you have all necessary rights to the video's content, which I did. If you don't know or want more information about copyright, please visit our help center. You may also wish to ask your legal counsel to determine if your video infringes someone else's copyright, the YouTube team. And then they, go into all this stuff. And this is what I explained to them. This was my original counter claim. Okay. My channel was merely streaming the sentencing trial of Nicholas Cruz, Parkland school shooting, which under YouTube terms of service falls under fair use since it is news, and I was adding consistent commentary. Actually, let me do this. Let me explain to you what YouTube says is fair use. Okay, fair use is a U.S. law that allows the reuse of copyright protected material under certain circumstances without getting permission from the copyright owner, meaning I don't need your fucking permission, WPLG. However, fair use is determined on a case-by-case basis. This is their little disclaimer to where they can do whatever the fuck they want and act in the interests of whatever. This is YouTube being bitches and acting in the interest of their own financial gain, because obviously a larger channel like WPLG is going to bring YouTube more revenue than I can. So that's their disclaimer to be able to do that however they see fit. However, fair use is determined on a case-by-case basis, and different countries have different rules about when it's okay to use material without the copyright owner's permission. In the US, works of commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting might be considered fair use. Might be. Okay? Again, that's their little disclaimer where they can pick and choose whichever one they consider to be fair use or not. This is YouTube's way of protecting themselves legally. But it can depend on the situation, they say, right? So let me get back to this. My channel was merely, I'm going to read that one more time. My channel was merely streaming the sentencing trial of Nicholas Cruz Parkland school shooting, which under YouTube terms of service falls under fair use, since it is news and I was adding consistent commentary, and since the channel I was streaming was that of a local mainstream news source based in South Florida, WPLG 10. And it says, I swear under penalty of perjury that I have good faith believe the material was removed due to mistake or misidentification of the material be removed or disabled. I consent to the jurisdiction of the federal district court for the district in which my address is located, or if my address is outside of the United States, the judicial district in which YouTube is located, and I will accept service of process from the claimant, which I will. It's fine. So yes, let me do that right here. Yes, I swear under penalty of perjury that this shit was unjust. Okay, that this strike was a mistake under YouTube terms of service, under your definition of fair use. Okay, absolutely 100%. Good point, Ted Jedi. Does Florida even have laws? Let me get in. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second here. Excuse me. And they tried to take down another video. It's a delayed takedown issued by WPLG. And they're saying that they want to give me an opportunity to resolve my copyright issue before my video is removed and another copyright strike is applied. So they're planning on striking my channel again if I don't remove the second video. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen, or it probably will. I mean, I'm just a small channel, you know, and I love doing this, and I might just end up being susceptible to bullying here, you know. That might just happen. I'm not proud of it and I'm not happy about it, but so let me explain. Let me read. They gave me the opportunity to to directly contact the person who struck me. It is somebody at WPLG Channel 10 in South Florida. And they go by the name of Andres Rodriguez. Okay. And I wonder if I can. I'm trying to see if I can find. Okay, so and I even copied and pasted when I contacted this person, I copied and pasted exactly what I just read to you guys, which was the fair use guidelines, right? Different countries have different rules about when it's okay to use material. I'll read it one more time even though I just read it, but this is my email to Andres Rodriguez, Channel 10. Different countries have different rules about when it's okay to use material without the copyright owner's permission. For example, in the United States, works of commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting may be considered fair use. Some other countries have a similar concept called fair dealing that may work differently. According to this, I am within my rights to stream your content without permission, Andres. I will be fighting this strike as what you did is known as false flagging, which is against YouTube terms of service. Unless, of course, you are willing to kindly remove the strike and we can all go on spreading information and adding commentary as members of the YouTube community on this ugly and disturbing topic that merits such dialogue. Thank you so much. Your neighbor, Will the Glarer. So Andres wrote me back. Andres says, Will, fair use might entitle someone. Dude can't even spell check, man. Come on. Fair use might, I'll correct it for you. Fair use might entitle someone to take a short clip that is the subject of news interest. Fair use does not allow you to steal an entire live stream and publish as your own, which I did not. We are paying money to produce this coverage. We have multiple resources inside the courthouse daily. You are stealing our property. There is no such fair use claim, even though I fucking copied and pasted it. What I should have done is shared the link. What I felt like I was doing, I mean, is everybody in Florida a fucking idiot? I mean, is that what's going on here? Because I'm fucking confused. Because the reason why I say everybody in Florida, because I swear to fucking Christ that this fucking email was written by Bullhorn Betty. I swear to God, this email was written by Bullhorn Betty when I'm reading it. It's the same shit. It's the same exact dumb shit that she would write. Fair use might entitle someone to take a short clip that is the subject of news interest. No, dude. No. I can stream the shit all fucking day if I want to. All fucking day if I want to. As long as I'm adding commentary to it. And as long as I'm adding criticism, as long as it is a subject of, as long as it serves the purpose of teaching. That's why I had somebody who was well versed in the case on panel with me, Mr. Matt Bond. So my intention was purely educational. I was nothing but grateful to have Channel 10 streaming the content, so that streaming the trial, which was content, so that I could add commentary and I could stream it for my listeners and my viewers. And this guy is saying, you're stealing our property. There is no such fair claim. My favorite line in his little email here is, we are paying money to produce this coverage. No, you're not. You have sponsors that do that. Jackass. So don't give me that shit. I mean, it blows my mind, dude. Yeah, sorry, Tim Tarman, or those of you in chat that are in Florida, but there's a reason why I left Florida, because I can't. with that shit. I can't. I um so I wrote him back. I haven't sent it yet. It's just a draft. Okay. I'm trying to give YouTube a chance to resolve this. But I said there is nothing in TUS and TOS that stipulates that. As long as I'm adding commentary, I can stream any news media source. I don't even have to give your station credit for being the source, but I still did anyways. Read terms of service more carefully. I honestly don't need you to remove the strike, but I will get it removed. I was even willing to take down the video as a gesture of good faith once you removed it, but that's gone now. People like you are the reason I moved out of South Florida. Oh, he had one more line after this. So after he says you are stealing our property, there is no such fair use claim. We will not be removing the strike, and we will elevate it if necessary. Andres wants to go to war with the Glairer, a little YouTuber. You know, I mean, a little YouTuber that hasn't even broke 500 views on those videos. Like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? Let me read comments here a little bit. Catherine 662. You certainly weren't acting entitled or using it maliciously, Will. You can fix this. We can help. And is there any way we can help in any way? As a matter of fact, there is. As a matter of fact, if you have Twitter, you can tweet at Team YouTube and explain the situation. Now, I'm not in fear. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll just take the other video down. I don't really give a shit. I'm not getting that many views on it. It's not that serious. It's a major case that everyone is talking about and every news source is covering it. So it's not that big a deal. It's not like if I don't put the shit out there, people aren't going to be aware of it. And I'm not even really making any money off of it at all. I'm not making any money off of it. It's not getting any views. And honestly, they're getting flagged for monetization because of the nature of the content, even though these guys are making tons of money and I haven't made a cent off of this. Nobody has super chatted me when I was streaming this, not one person, which is fine. If I didn't care about it, if it wasn't something that I was just simply passionate about, I wouldn't be streaming it because I have no other motivation other than to do it. I haven't made a fucking dime off of this. I mean, look, let me see real quick. Let me just look at my YouTube Studio app real quick, and I could see how much money has generated. Now, the one that they're giving me 7 days to take down, estimated revenue. You see that on the bottom there, right above view more? Zero. Okay. This is the one that was flagged. Oh, no, this is the one that's pending removal. Sorry. This is the one that's pending removal. So as you can see, it's pending removal, right? And as you can see, I made $1.70 off of that. So a bit of an exaggeration. I didn't think I was making any money off of it, but I made $1.70 off of it. You know, so wow. I mean, yeah, WPLG, I'm really stealing your content and making tons of money off of it. It's just it's so pathetic how petty these fucking people are, dude. Tatted Jedi, thanks, man. No one super chat. See this, don't do this. Boo. I appreciate it, man. I mean, yeah, $1.70 is what I generated off of the one that they're threatening to take down. So now, you know, now I'm using my platform to just trash talk these motherfuckers. And that's not going to make a difference either. You know what I mean? Unless there's 2 or 3 of you maybe in my chat that live in South Florida and you are this passionate about what I'm talking about, which I doubt that you are, and you're going to be like, I'm going to boycott Channel 10. And then they lose 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 viewers tops. You know? So, I mean, it's so petty that these fucking people do this. It's so ridiculous. And I can't even stream a trial over something that I feel very passionate about. Now I have to wonder, is YouTube just not liking the fact? I mean, if you look at their terms of service, and I break terms of service all the fucking time. I'm breaking it right now with every F-bomb that I drop. You know, I mean, so is it, what are they pissed off about? Why is YouTube? I mean, because I always say, what's the answer to 99 out of 100 questions? Money. So, because they generate more money for them. This is what YouTube does. YouTube takes 30% of everything that I make using my platform on their platform. They take 30% of everything I make. I've never complained about that. And I've always kind of, been a little facetious towards any channels that do complain about it. Like, people whine and bitch. They're like, YouTube takes a ridiculous amount of money, 30%. Dude, all you got to do, they're taking 30% to provide you with the easiest and most simple method of putting yourself out there, and people from all around the world are going to sit there and listen to the shit spewing out of your mouth. Like, 30% is fair. Every band I've ever played in, if you, what do you're going to play every show from your house or property that you own? No, you're not. You're going to go to a venue where people go to, and you're going to hopefully use their venue to get exposure. But in order to do that, you got to pay the house. That's only fair. It's how it is. There's nothing else you can do. It's only fair. So to me, 30% is fair for not having to do shit. I've never complained about it. But the thing is 30% of what I make on YouTube versus 30% of what WPLG makes on YouTube. Yeah, you do the math. 30% of what I make on YouTube versus 30% of what WPLG or what Law and Crime make. Do the math. Right? Now, 30% of what Rakita Law makes versus 30% of what Law and Crime makes. Maybe that's why he was able to get a difference made. But I don't see YouTube taking my side on this. I just don't. Because as you could see, the way that they word this is it's already a disclaimer. It's a disclaimer within itself. In their definition of what fair use is, it's a disclaimer. Fair use is determined on a case-by-case basis. In the U.S., works of commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting might be considered fair use. It doesn't say is considered fair use. It says it might be considered fair use, which gives them the freedom to just be like, well, this person over here, okay, the strike stays. This person over here, oh, wait a minute, they're falling under fair use, so no. Right? I mean, and I don't mind. Tim Tarman, I honestly don't mind, dude. You know, I don't mind giving YouTube their cut, dude. I seriously don't. It's super fine. I don't even expect shit. You know, I just don't like being silenced. That's what makes me mad. What makes me mad is being silenced. Because if you provide this platform and I'm giving you 30% of whatever the fuck I generate, I feel that that earns me the right to say whatever the fuck I want in whichever manner that I choose to say it. Every F-bomb I'm entitled to in my personal opinion. Every opinion on gun laws is mine to say because they're my opinions. They're my views. You can either listen to it or you could just log off. You can unsubscribe. I'm perfectly okay with all of that. I want to attract an audience to where we can have different opinions and discuss them. You know, I mean, my right hand, the heart and soul of my channel, who is Cherry. You see her in the chat all the time. She is the heart and soul of this channel. And she fundamentally disagrees with me on just about anything political. Just about anything that has been twisted into a political issue, which technically is not a political issue. She fundamentally disagrees with me on a consistent basis. But I love that. I love that because I feel like our dynamic here, even though it's funny, you know, people enjoy it, even though it's funny, we're setting that example for our viewers, our listeners, you know? And I take pride in that. I genuinely take pride in that because that's the kind of world that I want to live in. I want to live in the kind of world where I don't have to fucking tiptoe around your little fucking delicate sensibilities. Because if I'm capable of managing my personal delicate sensibilities, why the fuck aren't you? Because we all have delicate sensibilities. Nobody here's made of stone. We all have them. But for some reason, because it serves in the interest of the majority right now, large corporations are catering to that. Movies are catering to this. Everything is catering to this. Social media platforms are catering to this. Facebook will fucking take down a post if it's and say that it's not factual if it doesn't meet their liberal agenda. And I'm not even talking about the right or the left necessarily. I'm just saying that there are social media platforms that have taken a side. And if you don't fall under that, because it's a private company, they can remove your shit. And that's their excuse for removing your shit and silencing you. So I'm wondering if WPLG is, because they have no reason to be mad about me streaming their content. I'm not making shit off of it. I'm not taking views away from them. I had like the most I had was like 50 people in my chat all week covering this case, covering this trial. The most I had was like 50 people. They had thousands. So it makes me wonder, is Andres, is he worried about Is he worried about me taking money out of his pocket, which I'm not? Is he worried about that? Or is he worried about me streaming their content and giving my opinions on mental health issues that are unpopular? My opinions on that are very unpopular. Is he pissed off about the fact that I'm giving my opinion on gun laws? I mean, I know there's all kinds of. I was streaming from CBS. CBS didn't come banging on my door, virtually speaking. I mean, so what are they worried about? Are they just pissed off because I'm sitting here talking about the commentary that I'm giving is where I'm saying that there should be more guns, even though I don't even like guns. But I truly believe, yes, it was a targeted strike. And you know what? I'm gonna lose. You know, I'm not gonna beat YouTube, and I'm not gonna beat WPLG. I'm gonna lose. It's just how that is. I'm the little guy. This isn't a David and Goliath type thing where David wins with a little pebble. That's not how that's not reality. I'm nobody, and they have tons and tons of sponsors. And those sponsors, their demographic, the demographic of those sponsors don't like the things that somebody like me has to say. That's what it boils down to. Oh, I've already lost, man. I mean, I resubmitted the counter strike, but and I don't even know how that works. I mean, am I trying to counter strike them for false flagging, I guess? I mean, maybe, yeah. But I'm not trying to strike WPLG. I got no problem with WPLG. I never did. You know, Esther Levy. That's the entire point of this stream. You know what I mean? What's the point? Why would they strike me? What is the reason behind it? If I'm not making any money, I literally have made. I'll go over. I'll do the math. I'll do the math right now. I'll do the math right now of every uh of every cent that I've made off of this trial. Okay, this one is monetized. All right. So I don't have a pen right now. So $8.39 off one. That one got a copyright claim because I streamed something. So I'm not making any money off that next one. So $8.39 so far. This one, $2.46. So now we're at about, just under $11. Um $1.42. $1.24. $1.70. And zero. So what? Is that maybe 15 bucks? Maybe 15 bucks total that I've made off of streaming this trial. And I'm talking about hours. Hours. Hours and hours and hours. Dude, look at look at this. So maybe $15 off of, let's see, that's 5 hours one, 5 hours and 22 minutes the next one, 8 hours and 24 minutes the next one, 4 hours and 36 minutes the next one, an hour and 34 minutes the next one, another 5 hours and 47 minutes, 2 hours and 18 minutes. That's insane. That's like an entire day, like give or take 24 hours. I didn't even try to really do the math. I'm just estimating and by eyeballing it more or less. But that's, I mean, $15 tops off of all of those hours of streaming. And these guys are worried about me? Andres Rodriguez? You're worried about me? Or are you worried about what I have to say? You're stealing our content. You're stealing and making money and claiming it as your own. No, dude. Like, did you create the trial? Did you arrest this guy and convict him and sell it as a show? No. There's a bunch of shit ton of other news media outlets that are covering that. What's the difference if I stream you or stream them? What is the fucking difference, dude? And as an act of good faith, it wasn't like I was like I wasn't rude to this guy at all. I said, according to this, I am within my rights to stream your content without permission. I will be fighting this strike as what you did is known as false flagging, which is against YouTube's terms of service. I wasn't rude. And I said, unless, of course, you were willing to kindly remove the strike and we can all go on spreading information and adding commentary as members of the YouTube community on this ugly and disturbing topic that merits such dialogue. Thank you so much, your neighbor. And this guy was a dick. This guy was an absolute prick in response. I mean, it's just funny to me, man. Like, what exactly is going on here? You know? Like, how am I a threat? When I'm none of those videos even I'm talking with replays included. None of those videos exceeded 500 views that I'm aware of. Let's look at that. Let's see how many views they generated. Okay, yeah, some of them did. But I mean 521, 675, 475, 733. One of them got 1,000 views. That's amazing. But that's only because I streamed it for 8 hours. I got 1,000 views on that because I streamed it for 8 hours. An 8-hour stream got 1,000 views. Wow. An 8-hour stream. That's an all-day fucking stream. It's an entire workday. And I got 1,000 views total to date. I mean, how am I a threat to these people? And YouTube isn't even the corporation. Google is. How am I going to go up against Google? You know what I mean? I'm completely at their mercy. So my channel is in jeopardy of being shut down because either I streamed the trial of a very sensitive subject, which I'm not going to do anymore. Like, I'm done with that shit. Like, it's not worth it. I love doing this too much. I love hanging out with you guys too much. You know? But, but my channel's in jeopardy because either I, you know, streams somebody else's content, which it's not someone else's content. That's not their content. That trial is not WPLG's content. It's not creative. It's news. It's all it is. It's just news. Petty Patty, that's what I'm thinking. Because that was going to be the next thing I said. Because it was either that or this, that I speak without having a mainstream agenda. And I obviously pissed this one guy off so very much with something that I said on that stream. How dare I use his stream as a basis to express my opinion on very sensitive subject matter? That's exactly what I think happened. Who the fuck is this little shit saying that we should have more guns? Who is this little shit that's this little nobody on YouTube that is saying that mental health is not the issue with this kid? I mean, it's just crazy to me, Like I'm a little stupid, but I'm not so stupid that I don't understand the fact that I could build my channel so much to where, if I didn't smoke on camera, I'd get more I'd get more subscribers and more viewers. Little things like that. I know that. I'm aware of that. Problem is I don't give a fuck. I know I'd get more subscribers if I didn't say fuck so much. I know that. I'm aware of that. But I don't want viewers that expect me to be something that I'm not. So, to cater to them. Yeah, I know. Rekieta Law was struck by Law and Crime for Rittenhouse. And he was making the same argument. LNC was streaming a public trial. That's what's really funny. And I'm not trying to compare myself to Nick Rekieta, but one thing I love about Nick Rekieta is he makes me feel smart because there are so many things that he'll say that I'm like, I just said the same fucking thing, and he's an attorney. He's an educated, smart guy. So he makes me feel smart. That's why I like Nick Rekieta. But it's like, he has leverage that I don't have. Dude, you watch his streams, that dude has thousands of people in his chat, and he has so many super chats that YouTube takes 30% of. He has so many super chats that YouTube takes 30% of that he can't even call them out as they're coming on. Like every super chat that I get, I'm like, whoa, thanks. Shit. I can't fucking believe that you found what I had to say worth your $2, much less your $20 or $50 that I've gotten before. It's crazy to me. Somebody once accidentally super chatted me, I think it was like $400. And they were like, shit, that was an accident. And I tried to give it back and they were like, no, you deserve it. And I was like, holy shit, okay, thank you. I thought that was amazing, you know? But at the same time, I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know? But Nick Rekieta gets so many super chats that he has to do streams called that he titles them Super Chat Catch Up. That he has to actually like create a stream dedicated to saying thank you to each of the super chats. That's insane. So there's no way that YouTube taking 30% of what I make and generate is going to take me as some sort of priority over somebody like him, who's also an attorney. Like, he's going to be able to fight that shit. He's going to know how to fight that shit. He will be prepared to go to court. He doesn't have to hire an attorney. He could just take his little briefcase and be like, who wants it? Who wants it? He's capable of doing that. Emily Baker is perfectly capable of doing the exact same thing. You know, I'm just some asshole who built a studio in his basement. And I like talking to you guys. That's all I am. With nothing but uneducated opinions. I got a GED. Before that, the last grade that I completed was the 8th grade. You realize that? The last grade that I completed was the 8th grade. You know, like, who the fuck am I? No, Emily's awesome. Emily Baker's awesome. Like, like she's at that level too, where she's a total professional and she could just be like, fuck you. And so does Nick. Yeah, and I wouldn't know shit about fair use. I wouldn't know anything about it if it wasn't for Tug. If it wasn't for that umbrella guy, him and I used to panel on a creator who is no longer around and his name is not to be mentioned. But him and I used to panel on this guy's channel from time to time. And I would do that because my channel was struck and I couldn't live stream. Because canceled Karen struck me, and so I couldn't live stream. And I was on this guy's panel, and Tug would show up on his panel, and we would just shoot the shit and talk. And he was so helpful. He knew all about this stuff and explained it all to me. I would have just took it laying down. I would have just rolled over and just waited until the strike expired, and that would have been it. But thanks to Tug, he was like, no, man, you don't have to do that, man. All you got to do, you got to counter strike it. You can fight that shit. I was like, what? Really? I can't? I mean, dude, he's not besties with MGL. Let me cancel that shit right now. I guarantee you, and I don't like to speak for anybody, especially somebody like Tug. I refuse to speak for him, but if I'm speculating, responsibly, I'm going to go ahead and say that having had conversations with Tug, MGL is not the kind of person that he would ever want to be associated with if he knows her and what she's all about. If he did somehow in good faith decide to work with her on some level, it was because he wasn't familiar with her. I promise you that. I promise you that. Like, look how quick it took Sherelle, right? Look how quick it took Sherelle to realize what MGL was all about. Just like she had her snowed immediately. right after like one phone call. Like she was like, this woman. Shit made me laugh. Shit still makes me laugh. Every time another creator streams that live, I'm like, welcome to MGL world, Sherelle. JSB, who's JSB, Judes? Who's JSB? Oh, come on. Yeah, I don't even. Another irrelevant person, completely and totally. I want nothing to do. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I know nothing. I take pride in this. I want to be clear about this. I want to be clear that I take pride in the fact that I know nothing about that person. I don't know what they have to. I know they have something to do with the Summer Wells case. But because I refuse to pay attention to anything other than what law enforcement has released to a reputable media source, that is the only thing that I will ever listen to regarding the Summer Wells case. I will not click on channels talking about Summer Wells anymore. I won't. I won't fuck with channels that are talking about Summer Wells anymore because they're not talking about anything that is factual. It is all hearsay. It is all speculation. And it is exactly what the TBI is asking us as YouTubers to not fucking do. So I refuse to do it. I want that little girl found. And the only people capable are the people trained in doing so. That is the TBI, that is the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, that is EquiSearch, and that is the FBI. That's it. So I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. So, and I've never done it, and I'm not going to start now. I've never done that with crime cases. And I'm not about to start now. Because the funny thing is I don't need the TBI to hold a press conference. I think it's pathetic that the TBI even had to hold that press conference and say that. I don't need the TBI to tell me that. You know why? Because I take pride in having common fucking sense. It's bad for any case. All of these cases that are high profile, all of that irresponsible speculation and rumor spreading fucks up their investigation. It doesn't do good things for their investigation. And I have always said this. If you have followed me from the beginning for the last 4 years, then you know this about me. I've never done it. I take pride in the fact that I've never done it. But guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to my rant. If you want to do anything, if you have Twitter, you can tweet at Team YouTube. You know, if you want to tag Nick Rekieta and Emily Baker in there, I'm not going to be mad at you. You know what I mean? Because maybe they can help because they have some sort of pool with YouTube. I don't have a phone number to call somebody at YouTube. You know what I mean? The best thing that I can do is actually tag at Team YouTube on Twitter. That is the only time I've ever been able to interact with someone on YouTube and get a response. That is the only method that I've ever been able to apply that's gotten any results at all. And usually I just get a vague response. I'll just get them telling me exactly what fair use is. Please reference what terms of service says and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I'm just a small YouTuber trying to do the right thing. and I always have been. My methods may be unorthodox, you know. I admit that. You know, I've done streams where I'm drinking, you know. I mean, but uh other respectable creators, that they do the same thing. But because I'm a smaller channel for some reason, then I'm some villain for doing it. You know, it's like it's the double standards and the hypocrisy on this platform never ceases to blow my mind. So, you know, but again, guys, thanks for indulging me and listening to me bitch and moan. I appreciate it. Uh, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. And you know, maybe later tonight we'll do a fun stream, you know. Uh, but anyways, I love you guys. I really mean that. I really love you guys. You guys mean everything to me. Um, and it's really fun to hang out with you guys. Uh, this is why I do it, is to hang out with you guys. No other reason. And the results speak for themselves, you know. Um, my numbers speak for themselves as far as that goes. Speaks to that, I should say. But anyway, guys, again, I love you, and we will do this again very soon, my friend.